Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Mumo. Afternoon, Marco, Mumble. How are we doing? Happy Monday afternoon. You were here this morning as well, so happy Monday morning this morning as well. Right, we've got morning, afternoon, Fletch even. Market's just about to open. DAX today, utter waste of time. God, so unlucky with this. Not that I'd have made money out of it anyway, but broke short, broke long, stopped out, then it went long. It only actually gave you 1R, then it came back down, broke short, didn't even give you 1R, went up long, didn't give you 1R, came down. You've pretty much got 2R, maybe, if you're lucky, to the downside. So yeah, rubbish, utter rubbish this afternoon. This morning, rather, on the DAX. Very, very choppy session. Market's hanging around, so not sure what's going on there. I've got my volume off. I've just seen something coming through. David, good afternoon. We lovely. I love the chant. Thank you very much. $20. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I'm very happy now. I'm having a happy Monday. Get it? Thank you, David. That's very much appreciated. It's Happy Monday now. There we go. You heard it here first. Sorry, I've got all confused now. So yeah, we'll see where we go today. Big whipsaw at the moment on the Dow. I'm trying to get this evaluation over the line today. I'm not going to get over the line today unless we have a really big, strong break that I can add into. But I dropped about 1,000 on Friday on it. I was very close to passing, but I just got chopped to death on Friday. It was one of those days where you just couldn't get it. So I've taken a pre-market break today. The purpose of the pre-market break is to try and establish a direction at the open that we can continue and I can add to try and get a little bit more profit today than normal. Pre-market trades basically are just a 50-50 coin flip. So what I've done is I've taken a 5-minute pre-market range and we've broken long, so I'm long. So it's literally a 50-50 coin flip as to whether or not you actually get into a trade and stay in it, or you get whipsawed and basically lose both. So that's literally all they are. Very, very simple 50-50 shot. Some of them work, some of them don't, roughly half the time. So yeah, I'm going to take a pre-market on it, and then I'll take an additional 3 contracts if we break, basically, to the upside and stay. So as you can see, DAX coming down hard. The Dow, again, coming down hard. NASDAQ going up hard. So I said, can't remember, did I say NASDAQ a minute ago? Don't know. But that was the NASDAQ I was trading on Tradeovate. So yeah, we've got divergence again. We saw this on Friday with the indices. The Dow and the NASDAQ moving in totally opposite directions on Friday. We seem to have the start of potentially the same thing happening again today. So there's real divergence on these indices at the moment for some reason. They're off in different directions all the time. So we've got this potential divergence, which means typically with one of these, they will fall and jump back in the other direction. So either the NASDAQ rallies and the Dow gives up its attempt to go short and breaks long, or the opposite. The Dow continues down, the NASDAQ falls. So that's typically what happens. But at the moment, we are just putting some high volume in, a lot more volume than we had at the European Open this morning anyway. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of catching up to do on this morning's trades. This morning's news, not really a lot. We had Greer talking. We are open to and considering further actions on tariffs pause if talks are positive. So again, more tariff talks coming through could upset a lot of the markets if something is announced. So we need to keep an eye on what Trump's talking about, saying, because obviously he may well come in with some sudden tariff changes again, and that will send everything mad. We had too late, must cut interest rates now, and bigger than we had in mind, housing will soar. So if you were in the live room this morning, I was talking about FOMC, which we've got coming up on Wednesday. The forecast FOMC is going to be 4.25. The market is potentially talking about dropping to 4, so dropping 0.5% rather than 0.25%. That's basically what Trump is alluding to there. We must cut interest rates now. That's a given. Bigger than he had in mind, basically. He's talking about Powell, basically. Too late Powell is what he calls him. So, yeah, there is potential for that big drop. So, again, Trump just rallying the troops behind that. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. Trump's coming over to see us as well. That's nice. And then he'll be speaking to Z on Friday, apparently. But that's it. There's nothing much else came in this morning. Elon Musk just bought 2.5 million shares in Tesla. Now, that's a reason to go long on the NASDAQ. Okay, so opening ranges are in. So I'm just going to add 3 more into NAS if we break long. We'll see where we go with that. Inside bar forming at the moment. Lee's the real top G. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, you retracted that. I saw it before you retracted it, though. It's in record now. I said it. So that was your news, basically. We did have another piece of news this morning. Where's that gone? That was a Hong Kong PPI. So it was this. This is what stopped me out this morning. So China is to probe NVIDIA over anti-monopoly laws. That is where I got stopped out this morning. So this spike here, this 5-minute candle, red one, that is where that news hit this morning. So just broken long, and then we got that big spike down, and then it obviously retraced back up again. So that was that news coming in, that NVIDIA is potentially being probed over sort of monopolizing graphics cards, I guess. NASDAQ inside bar, Dow has broken short. So we have got diversification here. We have got the NASDAQ trying for longs, and it looks like that's about to trigger. There you go, long. So long NASDAQ, short Dow. Highly unlikely they're both going to work, but you never know. Friday they did, so we'll see what happens. Just quickly looking at targets on those two. So we are back. We tested the propulsion gap at the end of day on Friday. So this is Thursday's propulsion move that we had, which was the CPI or something. I can't remember what it was. PPI, wasn't it? PPI, I think. And we kind of look like we're trying to bounce out of it today, but I think they're probably going to want to fill this. So this area that we drew in on Friday was these highs back here. And it's also 50% of the propulsion gap. So these highs and 50% of the propulsion move from Thursday. So we often fill 50% of large propulsion moves, because by the time you chip into this, you've got a load of buyers buying up the high break, and you've got the buyers that bought that also adding to their position. So you can't penetrate the entire propulsion gap if it's going to be a long move that has created. So that's a downside potential target today. Other than that, that is your low of session. We'll be beyond that when we get down into there. And if that does fail, and this is a false breakout, then potentially we're coming back down to the origin of that news move. So there's loads and loads of downside momentum available on the the Dow today. NASDAQ, we're out in highs. So yeah, sky's the limit. It's all-time highs, NASDAQ. So yeah, where we go, nobody knows. So yeah, there you go. This is it. This is just, we are out. We haven't been up here. So who knows? That could just go for the next 3 hours. It could immediately reverse and come back down again. Who knows? Afternoon, Mikhail? Michael? Gotta call you. Just stalling out at the highs. Just quickly looking at FX while we're waiting for the market to move. I set up my position trader account. I've actually got one running already anyway, but I set one up, which I'm going to be trading in the live rooms with the live room members, which has just started today. I posted in Discord this morning the portfolio that I've got running in there. So I did a correlation analysis, forex indices, metals, excluding yen or Japan. So I've set up my own portfolio, which is maximum of 60% correlation. So this means basically that no two instruments that I trade can have bigger than plus 60 or negative 60 correlation, meaning that they should move independently as much as possible. I do this on the daily, using the last 50 days. So I've got a portfolio running pretty much like that, to be honest, which I've incorporated this year. Well, not this year, but this sort of season, if you like. We come out of summer and obviously things start to move. So this time round on this account, I'm introducing indices, but these are long only. So I'm going long only on those. I won't be taking shorts on them. And I'm also trading gold. That's silver. But anyway, I'm trading gold. What's the spread on gold and silver at the minute? Let me just have a look. Sorry, swaps is what I was talking about. 3.8. And gold. Oops. 38. Okay, yeah. So gold I've introduced into the portfolio, but with a much reduced risk. Just because at the moment I wanted to get some diversification into the portfolio, and I wanted something that's not just forex. So having two indices in there gives me that flexibility, and having gold in there gives me a commodity. So if there are safe haven runs, we'll often see gold bolt in one direction or the other, and it quite often goes the opposite direction to the Swiss. And I'm not even sure the yen is a safe haven anymore, but it's there for that purpose. So it's set up with lower risk, so it can do much bigger squeezes, because it does do big squeezes. And it's set up to trigger at 75.25. So it needs a little bit more movement on the hourly chart before it gets signals. But as you can see, it can be very squeezy gold. So I am running it on a very much reduced risk. It's running at 0.15 risk instead of 0.25. So it's a lot lower for when these squeezes happen. But when it's not in a squeezy mood, it does actually move quite nicely at the moment. It does, however, have these periods where you're going to struggle with it. So it's one of those you need to do aggressive drawdown control on every now and again. But it does have easily 50% retracements. There's a 38 on that one. There's a 50 on that one, 50% retracement on that one. This is obviously a range. For this one, we'd be looking at a pullback into here, which would be 50%. So I thought I'll stick some gold in there for diversification reasons. I may live to regret it. We will find out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, just going to move my risk up a little bit on this. So this propulsion gap that we've got put in at the open, I'll be looking for that to get added into. So I'm just putting my risk behind it. Dow is out to the downside. So lovely break to the downside on the Dow. So there's that first level, which that was the top of the propulsion gap, I think. What's that level? I don't know what that level. Why did I put that level in there? No. Anyway, so that would be where I'll be looking. So watch Globex low is approaching at the moment. So we'll see if they buy up the lows. Moving over to FX, ADR wise, we looked at these this morning. Aussie New Zealand is not an ADR because of the moves that we had overnight. Massive broker spread on this. This huge block of rubbish that the broker put in. So ignore that. That is not an ADR. It's certainly not 175% of ADR or whatever it's reporting, 150. Pound New Zealand has hit. So again, with the Pound New Zealand, if you look at a 15-minute chart, we had a slight move there to the downside. So it has taken all that into account. So I would say that is probably just about an ADR. You got a lovely 3-bar reversal at the highs there, and it came back down again. So pretty good. So you have got a reversal there. If you look at the 15-minute, it's quite a nice clean M pattern that's gone in at the moment. But, you know, it's taken sort of half an ADR to do that. So it might run out of steam a little bit. The other ADR was New Zealand dollar Swiss. That's not an ADR either because of the move there. So we had this huge gap down scenario. It's not even a gap, it's spread. So the broker spread all the way down, all the way back up again. You can't trade that because the spread would have been that big. It's not tradable. It's just spread. So that's not an ADR because actually, if you look at it, that's all it's moved, a quarter of an ADR basically. It's not gone anywhere. So you can ignore all of those today. Pound New Zealand, you can trade, but it's not the greatest. It's okay. There's no ADR, RSIs to look at. So RSI is flat. Hourlies are flat. 4 hourlies are flat. We haven't really done much today. We have had a fair bit of intraday movement, but as you can see, within ADR, everything is kind of absolutely miles away from ADR. We're nowhere near it. So nothing's really taken off today. It's a bank holiday in Japan, so I was kind of hoping the US would take advantage of that. Sometimes when you have a bank holiday in Japan, you see really big moves on the US. But so far today, we've kind of just ground. It's not going anywhere. So there's nothing really to report today. It's just a very dull day. And the indices have been very dull as well. Dow is pushing back up inside range. NASDAQ is having a go at another break. So there's that Globex low that I said about to watch. There's your Globex low. That's what they're buying. So that was the low from Friday. Market opened, immediately sold into the low from Friday and bought back up again. It does look like there was a move potentially starting on Friday. So that's what that grind was. But yeah, they've certainly bought the Globex lows up. So upside on the Dow today, if we are going long, you've got to be looking at Thursday's high. So Thursday's high and Friday's high, virtually the same thing. So there's your upside target, which is a nice 2R, easy to the upside. NASDAQ, not breaking long yet. Trying. So we have got a higher high on the NAS, just about, and a higher low. Obviously, higher high on this candle going in. We've got 2 minutes left yet, but not able to make a new high. Obviously, we're up at high of the day here. This is always a really, really tricky place to trade. High of days, when you get to them, high of days, all-time highs. As you can see here, when you get to them, the market will quite often just keep going. We just get this momentum where it just grinds away for the whole day. Other times it just stalls constantly and then collapses back down again very, very quick as basically the market just can't find any sellers up at that level. It's like, whenever you're trying to mean revert a big strong move to the downside, we call it catching a falling knife. Very hard to catch a falling knife. This is like catching an air balloon, basically. This thing could float up forever. And you find it at some points, you get people just not interested in trying to short it because it's almost impossible to predict. We have no volume or no liquidity areas to say, yeah, there's a good chance that we're going to hit that and bounce off of it. So we quite often just grind away, but very, very difficult to trade. You kind of just have to cross your fingers, hope, and stay with it. But there's a good example of a failure, look. So we attempted an all-time high. We slammed out of that all-time high and immediately rejected it back again. And those if you see that kind of movement, that's where you tend to get in short, and you try and play the pullbacks. But very, very whippy at the moment. Everything's very whippy at the minute. There we go. So high, low. Nice grind to the upside. How long do you hold it? This is the trouble, isn't it? Okay, stopped out the Dow. So we've got propulsion gap forming on the Dow at the moment. So very strong buyer movement coming in on the back of that DAX as well, NASDAQ. What should I do today? Just switching down to the 1 minute chart. I'm going to get out when we get some bears entering. Taking that today. Constant higher day going in. All-time highs. Okay, so taken 550. That brings me up to 52,173. So I might take another trade today. I'll see how that pans out. I hate pushing all-time highs. It's just too scary. I'll admit it. I'm a bottler. Anybody got any FX pairs they want to look at? Because there's nothing really to analyze at all today, because we've not really had much movement. So I have also spent this morning doing the MST Academy, which is finished, I think. So this is basically what I'm going to start next week. So the live calendar will obviously be filled out. This is what I'm going to do this afternoon stroke tomorrow. So this is where we're going to start, I think, next week. Or I might start there. Kind of need to start there. So I'm going to start on that next week, which is basically a load of... is everything I think you need to know about trading, basically. So how long these are going to be, I don't know. I've put them down as 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 20 minutes and things like that. I haven't got a clue. I'm just going to do them, deliver them. They're all coming off my head. They're not coming out of a book. So it's as long as they take. If I sit down here and after 45 minutes I'm still waffling, that's going to be a 45-minute lesson. So this is what I'm going to start next week. And we're just going to go through section by section on Zoom. And when we get to the end of it, it'll be a Q&A. No one's got any questions. Let's move on to the next one and do it. And then basically I will try and spend an hour in every session doing this. And then I will segregate it up and pop it in. So once you've done the live delivery, the actual recording will be in here. So if you can make the recordings, you will come back into them basically if you can't make the lives. So we've got that whole section, which is about all the basics of trading, everything you need to know, not all the crap that you get on Baby Pips and stuff. They teach you all the stuff everybody wants you to know in brokerages, basically. So it's all the important stuff that actually is worth doing. Then we've got a prop trading side of things. So there's 6 lessons in total there, but 4 main ones, which is the pro and elite members will get. That is basically my approach to prop, how I make money out of prop, how I trade prop, and all the trips and tips and tricks for passing evaluations, basically, and obviously using the prop firm calculator to forecast everything. After that is the economic news scalping. So we're going to go through economic news scalping. So I've got 3 strategies that I trade on economic news. We'll go through those. These are more for prop as well. If prop allows you to trade news, which they do, they all allow you to trade these strategies because I trade them. But you can't hold over news, but these are post-news trading strategies. So we've got a course, if you like, on those. Although there's less lessons in here, these are very much focused on specific subjects, so they'll probably be longer. The idea of me breaking this up is, and then we've got the position trading bootcamp, obviously, position trading, and then there's a back testing and strategy development, which I haven't decided what to do. I've got a load of recordings which I might use for these, which we've already done, but I'll flesh it out later. But if we do this, if I show you this basically explains how it works. So the idea is it's going to be a mix of free YouTube stuff, which is what we're doing now, and then group Zoom sessions, which are the interactive class parts of it. So there's a core fundamental lesson section, which is this 101. So the idea is this here applies to everything I do. Yeah. So whether I'm prop trading, trading ORB on CFDs, whether I'm trading news, whether I'm position trading, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm taking a support resistance bounce on an hourly time frame, doesn't matter. This stuff applies to all strategies. Everything you do in trading is what applies to here. So the idea is we cover all of this, and then people will break out into, are you trading prop? Go there. Are you wanting to trade prop as well? Go there. Or are you wanting to make have you got the ability to do quick 5-10 minute trading sessions? You can do that. Are you wanting to do position trading? I.e., have you got a full-time job? Because you can't do that, and you can't do that with a full-time job. You are that. Yeah. Or you are here, but you are in this camp. CFDs. So strategies to use on prop CFDs. So if you work full time, which you don't because you're in here, otherwise you'd be at work, you will be able to jump into that part. So this is kind of for everybody. But the idea is what we're going to do is we do this initial part of it, then breakout courses into prop trading, news trading, position trading, allowing you to focus on what you can do. Lessons delivered live on a rolling calendar so that you can interact. So basically, everything at the moment hasn't got a lesson. When I've done the lesson, I put the recording in the lesson. Yeah. When I do the lesson next month, it replaces the one that's in there at the moment. So you are always on the latest version of the information, which is what all courses out there on YouTube are struggling with. My bootcamp is one of them. My position trading bootcamp is 3-4 years old. It's changed a lot. So the idea is I re-deliver it every month. If I'm changing the way that we're doing it, you're going to find out about it straight away, and it will be in the course. Yeah. So it's constantly updated. And obviously it allows everybody to come in and have that interaction as well. So replays available for each lesson, a weekly Q&A. So if you can't get into a lesson, but you have a question, you can ask a question on the lesson, and it will come into me, and I will do a Q&A session, which I can record, which will also be live. But if you can't make the recording of the live Q&A session, you can watch the recording of it. So I'll answer your questions remotely, if you like. Yeah. That is for me to cut down on Discord time. Yeah. So I'll be answering questions in here in live streams rather than spending hours in Discord answering the same question over and over again, which is what I seem to be doing. So live trading sessions for news events and stock index open, what we're doing at the moment. So I'll be trading ORB as normal. Position trading, I'll always be doing and updating on every session. And news events, obviously, when there are news events, we're going to go into the economic calendar. And for example, we will be trading at 1:30, actually 1:45 on Tuesday, because there is a news event. We'll be trading it. Yeah. So it's all going to be done as necessary with that side of things. Access to every part of the members website. So you get access to everything here, and you get access to all the bits that are locked out from the free members, basically. So things like the prop calculator, the MetaTrader builder, more advanced trading metrics, create your own dashboards, that type of thing. You get access to all of that included in it. And obviously EAs as well if you do the elite. You get all the EAs included. And then lesson recordings, which are re-delivered, which is what I just said. So we're constantly going over the content. It's just hammering the same stuff home over and over again. That's all trading is. So that's basically it. So that is, I'm going to do a little video on that. This is just a tester video that I've put up there to make sure it works. Also, I am going to be trading, obviously, with Forex, which is my broker. If people are going to trade with me, it would be great if you could trade on the same platforms, just so that everybody's doing the same thing. So there's a link to sign up with Forex to go and get a demo account. You don't have to fund with them. You can if you want to. Obviously, I do. But there's a link to FTMO there, which is my CFD prop firm. And I'm going to be putting links into probably Take Profit Trader and a couple of other futures ones that I trade with. Because the futures strategy requires you to have multiple... don't have to have multiple futures prop firms, but it's very much a multi-account approach. So you can spread them over different firms. And what I tend to do is sign up multiple accounts when they have offers on to keep the costs down. But Take Profit Trader is always going to be in there because they are instant payouts. I mean, you can't beat Take Profit Trader. They are the elite of futures at the minute. As well as potentially Top Step. I really love Top Step and some of their stuff, but they have just moved over to a new pricing system and a new membership platform that charges me VAT. They are now 20% more expensive than the other prop firms. Whoops. I don't know why they've done it. I don't know why I'm being charged VAT now, but they are. So their prices have just gone up by 20%. So I'm not trading with Top Step at the moment. I don't know why, but I'm not. Anyway, so that's the plan, and that should be starting next week. And obviously I will publish the calendar, which will say what is going to be streams, what is going to be Zoom calls, and obviously just the YouTube stuff will carry on. So the YouTube schedule will stay there. Yeah. And I'll put all this on the website anyway. So there you go. That's what we're doing this morning. Okay, Dow, we're back inside range. Dow's going to be a double stop out today. What a pain. It's one of those, it's going to be turning into one of those weeks where you get these weeks where it just grinds. Like if you do back testing with the ORB strategy, you get these weeks every now and again where it just goes like that. And all of a sudden then it takes off. After last week and the choppy price action we had last week, the choppy DAX we've had this morning, and now the choppy Dow, I just get the feeling we're on our way to one of those weeks where it's just going to grind and grind and grind. We will see. NASDAQ might save my life today, but I don't think it will. It's got to go. It's got to go some, isn't it? Anyway. Afternoon, Brian. So, yeah, we'll see where we go. If you've got any questions on any of that lot, let me know. I'm going to be doing a test members stream. If there's any members in here that weren't here this morning, I'm going to be doing a test members Zoom call on Wednesday morning. So you can contact me in Discord if you haven't got access to the YouTube members area in Discord. If you want to be added into that, let me know. But it's Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock. So testing out Zoom, basically, to make sure it works, make sure everyone can interact, and for me to get used to the controls, because it's very different, Zoom to YouTube. But better. Okay, so all-time highs, we're stalling out on the NASDAQ. The Dow is completely reversed. I mean, that's not a pullback. Look, that is a complete, we've broken the high, and now mean, that's not market structure. That is just utter chop today. Right mess. Don't want to do anything with that today. NASDAQ, we're out into new highs. I was kind of expecting a down the NASDAQ today to do with the NVIDIA probe from China, but the markets do not seem to be of a similar ilk today. So we just got a first bear candle going in since we broke the open. It is higher, low though, so it's still bullish. We'll see if we start a 3-bar reversal here. Don't forget this is all-time high territory, so at any moment this could just collapse back the other way. Equally, it could just be a pullback continuation. What about Google Meets? What about it? There's loads of platforms that you can use, isn't there? As it seems just really easy. Google's really easy. I mean, they're all there's 1,000 different platforms, Teams, there's Slack. You can do it in Discord. There's just so many platforms, but I've used Zoom in the past. It's all free for everybody, Zoom. You don't need a Google account. Anyone can use it. But yeah, I could use anything. Never used Google Meets though, so I don't know anything about it. Zoom's good because it records automatically. It's got loads of features. I mean, Zoom is the biggest meeting platform on the planet. Yeah, they're above Teams. They're bigger than Microsoft Teams. So, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with the biggest and the best, basically. I'm not really interested in the free. I'm interested in something that's going to be good. It's smooth. Yeah, but so Zoom, it's the market leader. So I'm going to stick with them for the minute. And then if we hit problems with it, then I'll switch to something else. I've used loads of meeting platforms in the past, and I used to use Zoom when I did the original Bootcamp. That was all done via Zoom. So I'm just used to it. It's changed a lot though since I last used it. So we'll see. I did a little test last week and it all worked very well. Okay, gold ORB is in. So it's the 15-minute opening range on gold today. Gold's not been very good the last couple of days. It's very quiet. Not had any volume at the open. Right. Dow is coming back down again. New low gone in on the last 5 minutes. NASDAQ is holding. It's a messy day again, isn't it? It's very, very difficult. It's you kind of want everything just to be like happily doing the same thing. It's just so much easier to read the market when you've got one thing telling you should be short in the market, one thing telling you should be buying it. It's mixed signals. It's very difficult to determine who's in charge today. It does look like the NASDAQ at the moment, though. Just scary buying at all-time highs. Choose one where you can mute users. Otherwise, it's possible that we all hear very loud private noise when they forget to turn off the microphone. Yeah, that's the other nice thing about Zoom is I can mute everybody instantly and I can unmute you when I want to talk to you. So I can deliver a class and mute you all. And if anyone's got a question, you hold it until the end. And then I unmute you all and you go, I got a question, and answer it. This is part of what Wednesday's about. I need to check and test all of this functionality because Zoom's got millions of controls. So, I need to play with it. It's like anything. When it's new software, it takes you a while to figure out where all the buttons are. I'm sure I should be accidentally cutting off streams and things, but anyway. And that's the other beautiful thing about Zoom and things like that is it's not a stream, it's a meeting. So if my internet drops or your internet drops, you can rejoin. With it's a stream, if the internet goes and my stream cuts out, that's the end of the stream. I can't even communicate with you because you've gone. The stream stopped. With meetings and classroom environments, obviously you can come in and out. So it's good. And you can change the layout. So, it's just so much better. It's just such a better learning experience. Hopefully. So we got a lower low and a lower high gone in the NASDAQ. So potentially we are looking at either the start of a pullback or reversal or a flag break. You take your pick. I'm going with a flag break today. So looking for basically that type of movement out the flag. All the time that's coming down, that's very difficult. Same thing with platforms. I was using Quant Tower last week. Principles are the same, but it still feels uncomfortable. Platforms. Oh, trading platforms. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lesson in here, and it's early on. Oh, I know, I removed it. Did I, or did I? Yeah, I did. So I planned out a lesson on software. Oh no, I did. No, I left it in there. Look, there you go. I did leave it in there. Blind. So I'm going to cover MT4, MT5, trading view, and I've put web-based software. So TraderVate is obviously the second largest futures platform behind TradingView, which is more charting platform than trading platform. There's a very big difference between trading platforms and charting platforms. Most of them will try and do both, but you do not need to execute your trades on the software you're looking at. If you want to use TraderVate because you love this for your analysis, you do not have to trade through TraderVate. You can have your broker's platform open with a buy and a sell button on their website or whatever software they give you, do all your analysis, your charting, your drawing and everything on here, and then you go and press the button on the other platform. Yeah, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people miss. You do not have to use this. If you want to do your analysis on MT5 and you're trading the opening range breakout, you can use the opening range breakout EA to give you the levels, and show you the stops. And then you basically come over into TraderVate, as I did, and you place the orders or whatever platform. So I've got this section. It's kind of to go through the basics of the platforms, but also to explain the fact that you are using a charting platform. A candlestick is a candlestick. When something draws like that on TraderVate, it draws like that on TradingView. It draws like that on MT5. It draws like that on MT4 because it's the feed from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It isn't any different. If it's a CFD, the candlestick will be virtually the same, but the price quoted here on the futures platform might be 100. On the CFD, it might be 125 or 124 or something else, but the candlestick will be the same. So it's about understanding the difference between a trading platform and a charting platform. TradingView is a brilliant charting platform. Its integration with brokers is good, but it's not brilliant. You're better off trading with your broker's software and using TradingView just for charting. People like to be able to adjust everything on the chart, and I get that. But it's not a requirement. It's pushing back up again now. We might be looking at the start of a new rally up. So yeah, Quant Tower is one I've never used. I've heard of it. I know about it. I've used a lot of different software, but just got an ADR coming. Oh no, we haven't. An old signal. But yeah, never used Quant Tower. Okay, high, low. Inside bar on the Dow. So some buyers starting to step into the market. I might have a go at a long here with a very tight stop on it. Waiting to see if we break this 1 minute candle to the upside or not. Then I haven't got to worry about it, have I? Either go or it won't. Turn my volume up so I can hear it. Oh, I can see it now. There we go. Just about to get filled on that. No, I didn't. So there's your 5 minute candle gone in. So again, lower low, lower high, definition of a flag. Yeah. But that is a spinning top. So that is more bullish indecision, if you like. This is obviously a bearish candle, but that is very much indecision in the market. So looking for a break of that high for confirmation that this could be the flag break starting. Obviously, if we break the low, it's not. Dow stuck. What's gold doing? Gold stuck. It's same old, isn't it? This market at the minute is very frustrating. Can't get any decent movements. We're not getting any real breaks at the open at the moment. There's not a lot of volume coming in. It's FOMC week this week. So obviously just got to be aware this week that we've got massive news coming up. We've got CPI for the CAD, got retail sales for the US dollar tomorrow as well. We've got the euro interest rates, followed by FOMC interest rates, followed by the pound interest rates, followed by Japan interest rates. There is just so much news this week, which is high impact CPIs and interest rates, the top level of news and retail. So, you know, the markets are kind of sitting around waiting to see whether the dollar's going to collapse or not, because we know there's a potential of that 0.5% drop instead of a quarter. If that sends the dollar tanking, they're going to want to buy stocks. They don't want to buy them today if they're going to be cheaper on Wednesday. So you do tend to get that kind of hang around in the markets on big news weeks like we've got. But we'll see. Certainly FX is not moving either. It's just dead at the minute. I haven't triggered on my long yet. This is the longest flag in the world. Are we or aren't we? Doesn't look like we are at the minute, does it? Lots of bells and whistles. Most of it you don't need. Built-in heat maps and volume tools. Yeah. This is the problem with these platforms. You get too many tools. Traders get so confused with tools. You know, if you've never seen a heat map before, you'll go off for months on a heat map journey, and then you'll come back and you'll go into a Renko chart journey. Then you're going to an Elliott wave journey because it's got Elliott wave built in. Then you're going to a footprint journey because it's got footprint built in. Before you know it, you're an expert in Quantower, but you ain't got a clue how to trade. It's not, you know, a chart is a chart at the end of the day. It's a price point. This is a representation of price over time on the last 1 minute. Yeah, this is a representation of price over time on the last 5 minutes. That's it. Price has moved up and down within that candlestick. It opened and closed at those points. If you've got a heat map, a footprint, this, that, and the other, and everything else, yeah, at the end of the day, it's still going to do that or that. So many confusing things in software. And this is partly why I'm sort of guiding people down the route of let's just stick on MT5, because it does this box, MT4 or MT5, doesn't matter. They do the box standard stuff. I don't teach heat map. I've done Bootcamp courses. I've traded on Bootcamp. I've traded on Jigsaw. At the end of the day, it all shows you exactly the same stuff. There's volume there, there's volume there, and there's volume there. Your heat maps will show you the same thing. Lines, same areas. All the same areas. Same as indicators. We got a big section in the in here, not a big section actually, about indicators. Yeah, and you know what indicator types there are. Yeah, there's 3. You've got a condition indicator, a signal indicator, and a target indicator. That's it. It's the 3 strategies: breakout, mean reversion, and trend. There's 3 indicators: condition, signal, and target. That's it. You can pick whichever one you want. Those 2 are the same. Those 2 are the same. Those 3 are the same. They signal. They tell you if it's volatile. They tell you what the condition of the market is. All they do is they have a different reading on them. They tell you the same thing. Those 2 both tell you when the market's gone up and down. These 2 tell you how far it's gone up and down. And these tell you when you should be getting into a trade. Doesn't matter which you pick, does it? Yeah, you stick a heat map. When we do the support and resistance part of the trading, this bit of training here, yeah, call it what you want. Liquidity pool, call it a weekly support, call it a supply and demand zone, call it whatever you want. It's an area of a price trend. On Bootcamp and Jigsaw, it'll be a line of pretty colours. It's all the same stuff. Pick your poison. There's too many ways to do the same thing in trading. This is where everybody gets tied up in knots. It's just too many ways to tell the same story, isn't it? At the end of the day. It's a binary outcome. It goes up, it goes down, it moves through time. There is nothing else to it. This is a pattern that I'm going to teach called a flag break. I'm not teaching anything new here. Flag breaks are in pretty much every course out there. Why am I teaching it? Because it bloody works. If that breaks to the upside now, that is a market structure pullback, a 38% retracement on an up leg. You could also stick a Fibonacci on there and take exactly the same trade from the 38 line on the Fibonacci. You could use market structure to call this the second leg pullback into the third leg. It's all the same stuff. It's a binary outcome. Bubbles. I know, that's why I like Bubbles. Jigsaw. Jigsaw's a really good platform. Was it Jigsaw that was Bubbles? No. Which one was Bubbles? Was it Jigsaw or was it the other one? Can't remember. It's just volume. See, all a bubble is the equivalent of a volume spike on a chart. Yeah. So that candlestick there has got a bigger bubble than that candlestick. On a volume chart, the volume bar will be lower than that volume bar. It's the same thing. Bootcamp just went, I tell you what, let's turn the squares into circles and sell it again. That's all they're doing. They're selling you the same thing. This comes as standard with all platforms. It's called volume. I don't even know how to turn it on in here, to be honest, because I don't use it. But, volume is volume. Bubbles are volume in Bootcamp. Except they sell you round ones for 1,200 quid. Or 300. I don't know what Bootcamp costs. 600? 300? Jigsaw was the squares, yeah. Yeah, see, they sell you squares. So let's take a line on MT5 and turn it into a bar on other futures platforms. In Bootcamp, let's make it a circle and put it on the chart. And in Jigsaw, let's turn that circle into a square. 3,000s. And they go, we'll teach you how to trade bubbles. I know how to trade bubbles. If there's more of that, it's called cumulative delta to the professionals. It's the same thing. It's not until you've been through the mill, is it? When you've been trading for 5 years, or I think probably 3 to 5 years or so, you suddenly start to go, this seems very familiar. And you don't know why. And you suddenly go, but surely this is just X. And you go, oh, I get it. They're just flogging the same stuff again and again and again. ICT's the icing on the cake, isn't he? Take a 25-year-old concept, 35-year-old concept now, of a big candlestick, yeah, and give it a different name and make a name for myself on YouTube. Same thing, sold again. Over and over and over. Round and round we go. Okay, so we just had a big indecision candle going on the 1 minute chart there on the NASDAQ. So potentially uptick in interest on actually moving. Which direction we go, we don't know. It's one of those days where it's just not going to pick one, is it? Sit around. If I can get a push back up to retest all-time highs, there we go, long. That'll probably do me. I need to put a stop on that. Oh, I'm on a 1 minute chart. I don't want to be that tight, do I? Maybe I do. Just move it down inside the opening range. It's $140 risk. Upsides is about 250, 300 if it goes. So that ad there on a 1 minute chart is actually a break of structure on 1 minute. Down leg. The break of that high, which is the last leg down. We look at retesting all-time highs. Okay, so just reduce risk to 250 because I've got 6 lots on now. So target-wise, nowhere to go. Somewhere up there. Nothing new under the sun. Nope. There is nothing new in trading. It's been written about in books for decades. Yeah. Everything that you could ever potentially want to know about trading has been written in books by people 40 years ago, and it is exactly the same now. The difference is we now have accessibility to software, which can give us infinite ways to read the same information. A binary market that goes up and down, which you apply a risk mechanism around to give you a positive alpha. That is what trading has been since candlesticks were invented. There's a billion books out there which will teach you that. Now there's a quadrillion YouTubers that think they know better than the books. He says, sitting on YouTube, doing the same thing as everybody else. She's flipping a coin and taking a binary outcome. So NASDAQ's my only hope today. Gold is just not able to get any traction today. Downside break on gold is going straight into support. Upside on gold would be last week's high, which literally about 1R. It's just nothing. I mean, this is. Don't forget, this is a US dollar cross. Shall we buy stocks today, or should we buy them on Wednesday evening when it's half the price? Should we buy gold today, or should we buy it on Wednesday evening when it's half the price? There's just no reason for them to go anywhere, is there? It's almost like you kind of want to take the week off and come back on Wednesday or Thursday, basically. But I mean, the NASDAQ is actually trying. Look at this Dow. What a mess. This is exactly what the DAX did this morning. And then it actually got a clean break. The DAX this morning, we had exactly the same thing. Tried short, tried long. Stop filled. Really? What stop? Oh my God. Really? Liquidity grab. Thanks for that. The hell was that? I didn't even see that come in. Okay, so there's a difference, look, yeah? I was talking about candlesticks being the same. Look at the higher high, higher low. Look at the futures market. Lower, lower low. I still think I'm right. Dow pressing high of the day. That was very intentional grab, wasn't it? $396. So my upside target today on the NAS is 800 basically, which is roughly there. So we're looking for another 20 points above higher day. That will give me my target on the opening range breakout EA. Dow, new high of session. A new high of the day gone in the Dow. It's actually a double top in futures. There we go. We're out into new territory on the Dow. Rejection at 24,500. Yeah. $24,500. That's miles. That's miles away. It's all the way up there. Look. That's big round number territory. If we get up there, I've passed the evaluation. I'm not holding it until 24,500. There's no upside resistance. This could. It's just not worth risking trying to take a run like that. I mean, it's doable. Where's ADR today? $70 points. Don't know. Don't think I'll get there. That was a nasty little candle. Did we have any news coming on that? Wondering what caused that spike. Oh, 330. Oh, there we go. Was that the spike that caused... US will not impose tariffs on Chinese goods for purchasing Russian oil unless European countries do the same. Okay, so this is that thing that the Trump's trying to get over the line with everybody putting tariffs on Chinese goods if they continue to purchase Russian oil, to put the screws on China, basically, to stop them buying oil. But obviously, the rest of the world kind of wants stuff from China. So it's a bit of a difficult decision. What do you want? The war to stop or for your economy to dry up? Not really a decision that Trump can make for us, is it? We are stalling out a little bit on the NASDAQ again. So this could go either way. I'm going to leave this as my last trade of the day. Either that's going to go or it's not. I'm basically up 260 on the day with 250 risk on. So basically take me to a break-even day. Or it will take me to a nice profit if we do break all-time highs. Should be able to get sort of 300 to 500 out of a break on the high if it goes, but Dow's pulling back as well now. Let's see what gold's up to. Yeah, gold's vaguely attempting a rally, which obviously is negative US, which is bullish indices. So it's all kind of pointing in the right direction, but no traction, is it? DAX is still pushing as well. One of them days today, isn't it? Quiet. Short one contract, 24,500. When it gets there, it's not there yet, is it? How are you seeing 24,500? It hasn't got there yet. That's not the NASDAQ. Is that the NASDAQ? NASDAQ's trading at 24,250. 24,500's up there. You're obviously trading something else. December contract, is it? All right, okay. Give you specification here. From your experience, when you look at the range on gold on H1, which I don't do very often, overall, we are bullish. And when they cut the rates, gold will probably push higher. Yeah. You think the range gets fished to the downside? Don't know. Could do. Depends where we are when it comes, when the numbers come out. If they drop 0.5%, you won't be able to get down there. There'll be too much selling on the dollar. They will really go for it. So you should just spike straight away. If they go 0.25%, there might be the disappointment factor. And then them go, actually, well, they still have dropped 0.25%, which means they're probably going to have to drop 0.5% next time because there's a lot of pressure to drop 0.5%. So in that case, you could. But, I mean, you can't ask my experience because I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. What's happened in the past has got nothing to do with what they're going to do on Wednesday. Yeah. The price will do what the price does on Wednesday based on the imbalance of orders. I don't know what they are. No one will know what they are until Wednesday. So, yes, they could stop run that low. I don't believe in stop runs, but they could go for some liquidity down there if there is any. They may not. It will do one or the other. I know that. But with interest rates, you're always going to have large moves. So the thing with interest rates is you need to wait until, and this is why I trade news after the event. when you have an interest rate decision come out, if the interest rate decision comes out as expected, you could have a move like that. You could have a move like that. You could have it just do nothing. Literally, it can do anything. If it comes out different to forecast, you will tend to get a massive move in one direction. And then you tend to get a flag continuation on it. But this is a particularly tricky one because, as you can see, we haven't changed interest rates for 6 months. So the fact that we are going to drop interest rates and the market is already factoring that drop in means that if we get a 4.0, it's difficult to call whether they have factored that 4.0 in or the 4.25, because a lot of the market think that isn't enough. Trump doesn't think it's enough. So it may be that we're factoring in a 4, and when we get the 4.25, what we actually see is a massive bull move in the dollar, because the market has already sold it down to 4%, and they actually get higher than they thought. So they buy more dollar because the interest rate is higher. Therefore, they get a higher return, and that's how it works. This is what interest rates are, the return on the investment in the dollar. So you could find that 4.25 actually spikes it to the upside and gold collapses. But you have no way of knowing how much bank and institutional movement is forecast on that. Yeah, when you get these forecasts on financial juice for what the traders are factoring in, you'll see that they are not round numbers. You will get, there you go, how about that? That's exactly what I was looking for. Fed fund rate 4.33 September the 12th versus 4.33 September the 11th. This is what they are averaging at. Yeah. You see where it is? Bang in the middle between 4.25 and, no, it's not actually, it's between 4.5 and 4. Airing to the upside, meaning that they are thinking it's more of a 4.25 at the moment. Potentially, yeah. So it's very, very difficult to call. You're never going to find anyone that is going to be able to tell you, based on what's happened in the past, what's happening in the future. Doesn't happen. Ninja December contract rolled over today. Yeah, my contract rolled over today, look, to Z on DOW, but it didn't roll over on NASDAQ for some reason. Don't know why. That explains the difference in price. And that also explains the difference in, potentially, in candlesticks here as well. Although I'm quoting the same price. So this is the roll. CFDs are the rolling contracts. Dow is attempting new highs. Rounding bottom. Afternoon, Sonu. I still can imagine that Powell don't cut rates as a personal fuck you to Trump. Possibly, because inflation is not down. If Powell will cut rates, I don't think there are enough Powellites left in the Fed. Trump's replacing them. New long gone in, second long. I don't think there's enough there for him to be able to not cut rates. However, there is potential for him to force a 0.25 rate cut rather than a 0.5. I think that is definitely something within his power. So I'm just going to move that up a little bit just to cut risk a little bit. What am I, 260 on the day? Let's just go for a break-even stop. There we go. That is a no-lose position. Yeah, so I don't know. If he doesn't cut the rates, he'll be sacked. Trump will find a way to get rid of him. I think. So I don't think he's got a choice if he wants to keep his job. But the question is, does he want to keep his job? No secret that they don't get on. If you don't get on and you're that unhappy in your job, I'm going elsewhere. Do something else. You've been head of the Fed. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of places that will take you. So look at what Canada did. Yeah, they took Mark Carney and made him the boss. Yeah, there's plenty of things he can do, isn't there? But yeah, I don't know. I'd be shocked if we get a 4.5, and the market will be shocked. I mean, if we did get a 4.5, that dollar is going to hammer through the roof. Gold will just be gone. But yeah, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see on Wednesday. Oh, come on. This feels like Friday to me. Okay, Dow, new high of the session. God, so slow. So slow. I'm just looking at your chart, Brian. I'm assuming that's a 5-minute chart that you've shown me. Your 5-minute chart mimics the price action on my CFD account. So this here is low liquidity run because it's old contract. I wonder why they haven't rolled me over on TradeOvate. That's annoying. Is there an automatic rollover? Is there a way to force a rollover on TradeOvate? Because when I restarted the platform, they gave me the option. Yeah, see, I have got Z. Yeah, look at the price action difference on Z. That's annoying because that wouldn't have been a stop out, would it? Low liquidity trading the old contract. That's a bit naughty of them, isn't it? Not to roll you over to the high volume contract. But so be it. Balancing act between jobs and inflation. Inflation still rising, jobs being cut. What do you do? Move. Yeah, I don't know. Move. Don't live in America anymore. What can you do? Don't live anywhere anymore. There's no point. It doesn't matter where you go in the world anymore. At the moment, we're all stuffed, aren't we? We're all stuffed. Yeah. Interest rates and inflation just sticky everywhere. Europe actually is the one that's got it at the minute. Europe have got it nailed. They have really got it nailed. Yeah. 2.15. They're pretty much bang on target. Everything like inflationary is doing well-ish in euro. 2.1%. That's the flash, obviously, but you know, it's all going in the right direction, isn't it? Yeah. New Zealand, still too high. Aussie, still too high. Us, way too high. Japan, doesn't count. Dollar, CAD, doing all right. But that's going to go up because of the trade war with the US. So Europeans are the only ones really. You want to move to Europe. That's where you're going to be better off at the moment. But they're still having jobs problems. Oh my God, this is going to be one of those days that I just hemorrhage cash again. Nothing you can do. This thing ain't moving, is it? Dow's all right. Dow's out the highs. That's a hell of a pullback on the Dow, isn't it? This is going to stop out by the looks of things. Outside bar and low liquidity. So I don't hold up much hope for this trade at all. I'm going to cancel off that long because that's going to stop out. I'm assuming I can trade the Z contract then. I worry, you know, these with prop firms, yeah, anything they can possibly do to not pay you, they will do. So you get your evaluation over the line, you trade away, and all of a sudden they go, sorry, you can't have a payout. You know, in that bit that we say you can trade these contracts at these times, you on the rollover day traded the old contract. I'm sorry, we're not going to pay you. But you didn't roll over my contract. No, you should have selected it. But you rolled over that one. Why didn't you roll over that one? That's basically what I'll say. And they'll go, sorry, rules are rules. You can reset it, though, for only $99. Ugh. Okay, so I'm not trading this anymore. That'll be it. So if this stops out, which looks like it's going to, there is a high break. If you break into the downside, not sure you're going to get very far, to be honest. So I can't see any real reason to stay in any of this at the moment. I'm still in it, but it's just sideways. So we're what, 5, 10. So if you take that candle there, it's basically 15 minutes, 20 minutes after the open. We have literally been stuck in accumulation while the Dow's been manipulated. So it's either going to try a new high of the day, in which case happy days, profit, or it's not, in which case break even on the day, which is not the end of the world, is it? But it ain't going anywhere. Gold is trying to rally at the moment, but again, it's struggling, isn't it? The whole market's struggling. We're in FOMC week. I think we are. We're in for a bit of a choppy ride this week until Wednesday evening. So just keep your risk light, really, this week until Wednesday. Annoying, we can't get paid every day, but what about staying in the game? Not sure for Trader 8. I use the CQG connection on Ninja. Yeah. We have got that available for Trader 8, for Take Profit Trader. We can trade Rhythmic, but I can't stand Rhythmic. Does my head in. Our Trader Pro, the most useless platform on the planet. Oh, those are old details. That's from Apex. Very old. Okay, it's holding up. So I've got half a chance of staying alive today. I'm kind of hanging on to see if I can get this over the line, but I don't think I'm going to. So indecision, basically, at the moment. Outside bar. Expanding wedge. Indecision. And now we are inside bar. Contraction. No idea. Five-minute chart, CQG connection, 12.25 contract. Yeah. Basically, this is exactly the same chart as that. Virtually. You've got a double top there, whereas that's got a wick out. Other than that, it's the same chart. So I'm just looking at Brian's chart, everybody that's looking at me going, what the hell is he looking at? I can't show you because it's in Telegram. And if I open it up there, it opens up there. It doesn't open on this screen. Got too many monitors. Right. My day is going to be decided by the NASDAQ. We are either going to break into new highs, in which case I'm going to close out up because obviously this one's going to work out. Gold, I think we may get continued selling into the dollar today, which will give this an opportunity to break, but the distance we have available upside into last week's high is very small. So I'm going to watch this break if it happens, and I'm going to closely watch price action there on the 5-minute time frame. What I will probably do is when we get to that high, depending on what time it is, I'm going to the gym in an hour. I will just protect that with a break even. So it will either become a break even or we will break out of last week's high and we're away. NASDAQ obviously is already in profit. In fact, I'm going to break even that now, just because there's absolutely no point in taking a loss on it. If it's not going to go, if it is going to pull back, there's no propulsion gaps here today. So that's the only propulsion gap we've had, and we've tested it. So in theory, this is them buying up the propulsion move, in which case they're looking for a new all-time high, which is why I took the flag break, because that's what I was assuming they were doing. But if that breaks out, obviously, then this is going to hit target as well. So from a day perspective on CFDs, that plus that will cancel that out back to break even for the day. So pretty much the same as on the futures. If it breaks long, I will get back to break even. I'll be in profit anyway. I'm already in profit, but it'll be a nice profit. Not a lot else you can do with it today, is there? It's just choppy old mess today, unfortunately. So there's your high of the day on gold. You can see clearly on gold, better on the hourly chart there. That's your upside resistance. That is also ADR today. So when we get to that weekly high, you're also hitting the average daily range on gold. So again, we're going to get exhaustion. But yeah, there's no signals anywhere else today. It's just dead. Dead, dead, dead. Gold is about to break. Just watching that high on the NAS. Once that goes, I'll be looking at similar distance to the upside. Potentially a 10-minute rally or so. Dow has broken and market structure is holding on the Dow. So market structure on the Dow is clear. It's just not very strong, is it? I'll leave it there. So I'm back on Wednesday morning for members. If you are a member, I will put a message in Discord. We're going to do a Zoom call, and we'll go through basically the idea on Wednesday is to go through the introduction, basically, and just go through what we're going to cover in the MST Academy. And then we might get into some of these lessons. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I kind of want to start that on Monday, though. So we'll do that, and we'll basically test out Zoom, make sure it works. We'll trade the DAX at the open, obviously do the FX analysis. Wednesday is FOMC day. So what we'll also do tomorrow on Wednesday morning is we'll do an analysis of CPI for the CAD and the retail for the US, have a look at how that is impacted and what the potential move on the US is, and then prepare basically for FOMC. I'll be back on Wednesday afternoon, and I'll be trading the open as normal. Be aware Wednesday afternoon, we've got this interest rate decision from Canada 15 minutes after market open. So there is a good chance that I don't think it's going to come out as a differential from the forecast, but there is a good chance that if that really strongly moves the Canadian based on the rate statement, that we'll get a move on the US, because the US and the CAD do move together on interest rates. So If that happens, obviously, you're going to see high volatility on the stock indices, typically in the opposite direction. So there's potential for a big move ahead of FOMC in the afternoon, 15 minutes after market open. So Wednesday, again, it's one of those weeks this week where you've got so many interest rate and CPI numbers coming out. Just like keep the risk a little bit tight and keep your stops a little bit tight, just because you could have those big moves coming in. And make sure you're trading the latest contract. There you go. There's a high of the day just popped. So we're out into all-time high territory now. You see that nice pop through. You probably didn't get that actually on. Not as bad as it. No, you did a little bit. So there's your high day gone. Obviously, that was an initial pop through. So it could well be that there's an iceberg order there that just ate the lot and buyers are just dead now and we come back down again. So either that or we will close above that high and we'll probably get a good 10-minute rally. Hopefully the latter, because I'm long. Sorry, Brian. You're probably out your short now, aren't you? One of us had to be wrong. So yeah, we'll be careful this week, obviously, because of what's going on. That would have been a nice little profit take up the top there, wouldn't it? That probably would have been worth somewhere in the region of 300 if I'd have managed to actually get that order taken. But I don't think there's enough liquidity up there. Where are we? Let's have a look. Yeah, 250. So I'm going to take a partial if we get up there and then let the rest run on a break even if it goes. An argument for getting out now, isn't there? That's a pretty big hammer we've got forming. 4 minutes left on this candle, though. Not trading till the candle's closed. Anyway, have fun at the gym. I will be. I'll be doing that, as your icon says. Out on that last drop, watching. Yeah. Watch and see where we go. But, yeah. Tricky. It's a really tricky one today, isn't it? In fact, do you know what? Do I even want to risk it? Risk it for a biscuit. I'll take one up at 300. Just shy. Where's 300 up there? I'll go 24.98. Sorry, 298, 42.98. So if we do break, I'm going to take a partial at higher day in case we double top higher day. If we break high of day, I'll go for a run up to 300 and then I'm done. I'm flat. I'm not convinced by this high break. I think, look at the Dow. I will go in a minute, honest. I'm going to reduce risk right down on this. I don't like it. I'm going to stick $100 on it. There we go. Oh, that's only 3. Whoa. Why do you not move my other 3? So risking 100 on that rejection. I want to see it close above that high. If we don't close above that high, I get the feeling this might turn. Dow has turned. See where we go. Tomorrow, I will trade the right contract as well. Up 600 for the day, so I'm not in a rush. Good man. I'd stay there if I were you. I'm up 260. 360, including open. 660, including high of day. 860, including high of day plus. One of those things is going to happen. I can guarantee it. Right, I'll leave you there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be back on Wednesday morning. I'll message out in the Discord group. I've got to test all of this stuff first and make sure it all works. So yeah, that's my job tomorrow. And then I will see you hopefully Wednesday afternoon and prepare for FOMC. So have a good day. Anything you need, let me know. Other than that, I'll see you next time.